Hello, I'm Kaylee, and my intercultural speech is on the Jewish community. For my speech, I interviewed Mr. John Weiner, who is 99% Jewish. The biggest thing that I have learned from him is that the people of the Jewish community are tough and have learned how to fend for themselves after many years of persecution. In this speech, I will be talking about Jewish religious beliefs, Jewish history, their communities, daily life, and a few interesting facts. My first main point is the religious beliefs of the Jews. Mr. Weiner gave me a lot of insight on the beliefs of Judaism. He is now a Christian but grew up practicing Judaism. My first question was about what the main beliefs are. He explained that most Jewish people believe in God. May not be the biblical God, but they do believe in God. American Jews are different than some Jews. So depending on where they are living, Jewish beliefs can be driven by the culture, education, social status, or even race or gender. He explained to me that Judaism is similar to Christianity in a very general way. Judaism has a set of moral principles that then became part of Christianity, and those moral principles drive Christianity today. Moral principles are the 10 Commandments, or the good things that you do. Judaism differs from Christianity in the way that Judaism does not believe in grace. Christians believe that Jesus died and bore our sins, but Judaism doesn't believe that there needs to be forgiveness from God as a whole. My second main point is the history of the Jewish people. Mr. Weiner told me that one thing about the Jewish history that most people do not know about is the extent of persecution at the hands of Christians. People tend to think that Jews do what they do because of World War II. They have suffered for over 3,000 years at the hands of Christians, and the church has had a broken relationship with the Jews and has often treated Jews as less than human since the 2nd century AD. There has been persecution, wars, lots of hatred and isolation, and that has created a mindset in the culture of Judaism. And the mindset is that Jesus is not for Jews. Most Jews would say that they have nothing to do with Jesus because they know that Christians hate them. At best, there is a lack of trust between Jews and Christians. One of the biggest questions that I had was, what was the difference between the Jewish race and religion? Mr. Weiner explained that a race is what you're born into, and that we are all humans, just different races. Jews are a race and cannot be connected to any religion, and that the vast majority of Jews in the U.S. do not practice a religion. The biggest reason that Judaism still exists today is because of persecution. My third main point is Jewish communities. Mr. Weiner explained to me that a normal Jewish community in America looks almost identical to any other community. In New York, you can find some groups of a very particular type of communities, and those are normally people who have a very strong cultural and religious background. Some of the main values of a Jewish community are the 10 Commandments or basic moral principles. Mr. Weiner explained that his father once told him, "You can do whatever you want in life, just don't hurt people." Mr. Weiner also told me about his family that had lived through the Holocaust. He told me that there is no Jew alive today who cannot say that they have not lost someone to the Holocaust, because we lost 2/3 of the Jewish population then. He went on to explain that his grandfather was one of 12 kids, and him and his cousin left the Ukraine around World War I, and the village that they lived in was destroyed by the Nazis. So basically, his whole grandfather's family died in the Holocaust. His grandmother's family had also died in Lithuania. My next main point is the daily life of a Jew. Mr. Weiner explained to me what a normal Jewish household looked like. He said that a religious Jewish household would have a relationship with the synagogue and practice the Sabbath and practice the holidays. All other Jews would be cultural Jews, and in Israel today there are about 16% Orthodox Jews, and almost 80% are cultural. The life of a religious Jew always begins with prayer. Afterwards, they go to the study hall and study the Torah, and from there, they go to the marketplace. My next main point is some fun facts about the Jewish culture. Mr. Weiner gave me plenty of information on their holidays, favorite foods, and hobbies. The Jews' favorite foods change according to the different holidays' celebrations. During Passover, it's unleavened bread, and during the fall feast, it's apples and honey. Only a very small number of Jews keep kosher. When it comes to hobbies, Jews love education. They love to learn, read, and also help people. They have been known to be very philanthropic people. Many of the great social causes in the U.S. were started by Jews. Even organizations such as the NAACP was started by Jewish men who were upset with the plight of post-war blacks. When it comes to holidays, Jews tend to follow all 7 biblical feast days, and each one has a specific types of festivals connected to them. Hanukkah and other holidays have some type of biblical meaning behind it. In conclusion, learning about the Jewish culture has been a very interesting experience. I've learned even more about their history, the way they live, and some interesting facts. Learning about the Jewish community has been a privilege, because not only I have learned their background, but I have learned about what they do now. Thank you.